Hello everybody. Happy New Year. I hope everybody's been having a fantastic year so far. It's probably only been about a day or two, but I digress. Yeah. Hope you guys had fun yesterday. It was either festive or quiet for you. Regardless, I hope it was a good time. I stayed at home and ate food with my family, and then made ramen towards midnight. I think chat's broken again for some reason. Okay, I really need to figure out what's going on with chat. I don't know why it's not working, but sad days. But we're all still here, and that's what counts. Yay! It's like Stream Elements. I wanna integrate to you fully, but Streamlabs chat always worked, so I don't understand why you're not working. So, anyways, enough about that. I've got some lovely noodle ASMR. No, I've got what are they like? They're like that brand of like spicy fire Korean noodles, but this is like the black bean version, and it's not as spicy. It's still really good, but it's just not like you take a bite and you instantly want to die. It's not like that. It's actually it's a really nice, at least for me, it's a milder spice. Still pretty spicy, but really good. I really like this one. I've never had it before. I got this, and I also got the pink package one, the one with like the cheese flavoring or something, and then like the original like red hot spicy one. So look forward to eating those in the future. Actually, I got quite a few packets of ramen. There's this one place there's this one online store. It's called Squishy and it's got like a bunch of like different Japanese and Korean snack items, among many other things, beauty, plushies, other little bits and bobs and everything. I love going there. I love going to like the physical store, but then ever since I found out they have an online store, it's been very dangerous. So that's where I got these from. I've already started eating a little bit. My noodles have already gotten a little bit cold. I'm very sad. I tried to like heat up the bowl and everything. It didn't really work, so. But they still taste good. Sometimes when like food is like too spicy, but then it's cold, it's like not super appealing to me. But these ones they're really good, so I don't mind that they're not warm. And I've also got some tea with me and some water. I was like preparing just to make sure that I had some kind of a buffer in case it got too spicy. But these ones, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, so I don't have too much to worry about. Actually, what I worry about more is the honey pooling to the bottom of my teacup and making it taste really gross. Because this happened to me yesterday. I made some tea. And as I was drinking it, this has never happened to me before. I think it's maybe this honey that I got for Christmas. So I got honey for Christmas, and I've been using it the past a couple days. And yesterday I made tea, and as I was drinking the tea, like over time, I noticed that like it wasn't very sweet anymore. I was like, okay, maybe I just didn't put in that much honey. But then as I got closer to the bottom of the cup, it just got more and more sweet until it was like the very last bit of it. And it was just sickeningly sweet green tea. And I was like, oh, I can't drink this. It was so disgusting. So I think I have to be quick with my tea drinkage today if I don't want to encounter the same problem. Oh yeah, the times 2 spicy ones, those ones, sometimes like when I get those, I can't even use the full like pack of like spice sauce. Like it's too much. And I'm a person that generally likes spice. I don't really handle like super spicy stuff that well, but I really like, you know, a good amount of spice in my food. So those ones are just a bit too much for me. And my brothers, we're kind of all in the same boat, and my dad too. My mom, not at all. Every time we have them, she wants to try. I'm like, you're not gonna like it. Every time, she's always going for water. I'm just like, Mom, please. Some things never change, but it's those things that you find most comforting, I think. Also, I don't know if you can hear in the back room, but I have a heater on because my room gets just terribly cold in the winter. For whatever reason, we literally have no idea why my room gets so cold. Like, we've done like the insulation and we've got like the vents open and stuff. I'm venting. And like, I think it's just because like my room is like right above the garage, and the garage is always freezing or always boiling hot depending on what the weather is outside. So whatever the weather is in the below me is what the weather is, what the temperature is in my room. So, ay. Hi, Happy New Year! So glad you all could join me. Hope you've got like some snacks of your own. If not, that's okay. That's all good. I can eat for the both of us. I'm assuming most people that are here probably aren't in the same time zone, so maybe it's breakfast for you, maybe it's dinner, maybe it's 3 a.m. Oh boy, 3 a.m. Yeah, this is really good flavor. Like I really wasn't sure what to expect. Like, I don't mind black beans, so, and especially like whatever they do with like a Korean flavored black bean. I'm not really sure what that entails, but this is really tasty. Actually, there was a time in my life, a brief moment, and by brief moment I mean like over a decade, maybe close to 2 decades. Well, yeah, actually close to 2 decades, where I didn't like beans at all, like not in the slightest. It was, yeah. it really had to do with like, I just didn't like the flavor, and I wasn't accustomed to the texture either. But then I started working at a place where beans was one of the primary like food items. This was at my old job. And because of that, I learned to, like, tolerate beans. So, I guess I have something to thank for my old job. That and, the spine that I grew. Somewhat. Oh, yes. I'm glad you noticed. So, yes, I was, excuse me. I was searching around, seeing if I could find anything else, I guess kind of new for the new year, and I came across this new BGM. It's by the same dude. How do you pronounce his name? I want to say, oh gosh, there are no vowels in this name, but it's by the same guy who did the first BGM that I had. Which are all free to use, by the way, so go check out his stuff. He does a lot of great stuff. So yeah, I thought I'd mix it up for the new year, have a little something special, something to spice things up, so to speak. Yeah, actually, I did something really stupid the other day. So, about a week ago or so, I made this, like, kick-ass onion dip. So basically it was like, usually what we do when we make, like, onion dip for chips and stuff is that we take, like, one of those, like, pre-made, like, onion soup packets, and then we, like, mix it in with, like, sour cream and stuff. We didn't have any more of those, so I ended up just kind of throwing together a bunch of things, some onion powder, some garlic, some other stuff, grilling up some onions myself, and mixing it all together, and oh, it was so tasty. Could have done without the Italian seasoning I just dashed in there just because, but other than that, it was fantastic. So, I put it in, like, this glass container, like this glass, like, food container with, like a plastic rubber lid sort of thing. And then, you know, just store it in the fridge, whatever. So, a couple days ago, I was getting ready to leave for my job, my work, and I'd stored my lunch in the fridge right next to the container of this onion dip. So I'm pulling out my bag of my lunch out from the fridge, and for whatever reason, maybe it got stuck on the bag or something, I'm not even sure. But as I was pulling out my lunch, the container of onion dip fell, and then fell right onto my foot. So, I think this was on, like, Tuesday or something. So since Tuesday, my foot has slowly been bruising, and it's just been generally in pain because a glass container of onion dip fell on my foot, and I wasn't quick enough to get out of the way. Oh, I felt so stupid. And then I was later on that day, or the next day, I took, like, an Advil or whatever, just because it was starting to bother me a little bit, and someone who was working there was like, "Oh, you have a headache or something?" I'm like, "No, I dropped onion dip on my foot." And they're like, "What?" Oh, that was not my proudest moment, not my brightest moment. I digress. Oh dear. So I'm starting off New Year's on a sore foot, so to speak. If that's the right or wrong foot, who knows? it's a sore one, to be sure. Yeah, I know, the chat's not showing up on screen for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'll have to look into it more, because it's really hit or miss sometimes. Like, sometimes I'll just log out and log back in and I'll be fine. But then other times it just won't show up no matter what I do, and it's very, very annoying, so. One day I will figure this out. One day I'll know what I'm doing. Hopefully. Oh yeah, that very out of context tweet. Which, by the way, if you're not following me on Twitter at Navi Stories, shameless plug. But yeah, I posted a picture on my Twitter. I was just like, I just captioned it. It was just the picture of the onion dip in the fridge, and I just captioned it, evil. No, I guess maybe I shouldn't blame the onion dip. If anything, I should blame gravity. Gravity is evil. Gravity is what did this to me. Because without gravity, the onion dip would have just floated. So. Gravity has it out for me. Had it out for me in 2021. It's coming right at me in 2022. I gotta be on my guard. That is true. I mean, like, it was a pretty sturdy container, but, like, you know, anything could have happened. Maybe it could have, like, you know, bounced off somewhere and hit, like, the fridge or the freezer handle or something, or I don't know. Something bad could have happened. Maybe the lid would have opened up and all the onion dip would have fallen out. That would have been so annoying to clean up. But I guess you could say I was a hero. Oh my gosh, I just forgot. I just remembered something. Okay, it's not anything important. I just remembered this because they finally. So I've been. I have a couple watch along streams coming up. In literally about like 12 hours. So you're gonna get a lot of me in these next this next little while. So. But they finally put up a waiting room for the cover, the Argama Witch Live 2022 Cover Fest Mini. They finally put up a waiting room. I was like waiting so long. I was like I thought they would have like put up maybe like a week in advance or something, or at least like, you know, before the actual day of it. But I guess that's what they decided to do. So I was like, yay! Because I was waiting so I could add it to the description of the waiting room. Which wasn't happening because, like, it wasn't there, so I had nothing to add. I was just like, oh no, what do I do? So. Apologies for that, my mom just came in randomly. But yeah, now that I have the the link for the public viewing is now available, I can now put it in the description. Yay. And I should preface again, this live, this viewing is free. It's not gonna be archived, but it's free. So, I hope, regardless if you want to watch along with me or not, that's totally fine if you don't want to. I hope you'll at least check it out. Because, I mean, what better opportunity to check out something brand new and free than this? I know it's gonna be amazing. Like, I'm 100% biased, for sure, because I've been following this project for, like, almost 3 years. Oh my god, it's gonna be 3 years coming up. Ah! That's so weird. But, like, it's gonna be an amazing show regardless. There's gonna be lots of covers and fun times and stuff. And I'm just very excited to see it all. Yay! So, I hope you guys are excited too. I'm gonna be so tired. Oh my gosh. I was trying to make my schedule and I was like thinking, do I really wanna stay up until like 1 a.m. and then get up again at 5 a.m. and stream it? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be awake. Might as well. Indulge in the chaos. Although it's gonna be very quiet chaos, I will say that. I've already informed my parents about it, and they're just like, okay, Stories, you're so weird. I didn't actually say that, but you know, the parents give you that look, and you're just like, yeah, I know, don't judge me. And this isn't the first time I've woken up early for an Argama Witch live in the past. I remember the first time, I can't remember which live this was, but I got up around like 4:30 a.m. for a 5 a.m. Live or something like that. And I was just like sitting at my desk with my pen lights on. Door closed, by the way. And I wasn't speaking, I wasn't like cheering or anything. I was just like, you know, silently waving the pen lights along to the music and stuff. And then I just kind of look like to my right, and I just see like my mom, and the door is just cracked open. She's just like looking at me in the dark, just like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm watching a concert. She's like, oh, okay, I just saw lights like waving around like from like the bottom of your door, and I just want to see what's going on. I'm like, okay. So ever since then, like, if ever she's like gotten up in the middle of the night for whatever reason, she sees like lights waving around my room, then she knows that's what's going on. My family has become accustomed to my interesting, strange hobbies, I guess. Slowly but surely. Like, I mean, they know I traveled to Tokyo, basically to, you know, to see Argama Witch second live, and for my birthday, but you know, second live was like a big reason why, so. Kinda new to your channel, and I'm interested which double A side character is my favorite. Ooh. Well, first of all, excuse me, the spice is starting to get to my throat, but first of all, welcome. Thank you so much for checking me out. I'm happy to have you here. As for my favorite double A side character, it is Mr. 7 Stars Lotus himself, Nanahoshi-ren. I love him! I have so much merchandise of him just on my wall. Well, not a wall, but I have like a shelf just full of Argo Pro merchandise, and a lot of it is Ren. But yeah, Ren has been my favorite since, I want to say like June, July of 2019? Because like before then, I was just, you know, like starting to get introduced to Argama Witch. I'd found them early March, or well, actually no, it's not true. I found them like mid-December and just became a fan of them and started checking out more of their stuff in early March. That's when I consider myself to have become like a fan of theirs, is when I got first single, Goal Line. So after that, I like, you know, I went and checked out all their stuff and everything to see what they had going on, which wasn't much at the time because they had just like announced the project like in like what, May of 2018, so they didn't really have much going on. So at the time I was just like, oh, all the characters are kind of cool. Like, I don't think I really have a favorite right now, but I really like all of them. I think they're all nice. They all look really nice. I did find myself, you know, kind of gravitating towards Ren just simply because he was the vocalist, and as a singer, to no professional degree myself, I tend to like vocalists more just because of the I guess the similarities, affinity for music sort of thing. So in that sense, I guess he was always my favorite, but I didn't really consider that until like later on, like a few months later, and I was like, okay, yeah, we had a few more audio dramas come out, we had some other little things going on. I was like, yeah, Ren's my favorite. The Wataru is a very close second, like an incredibly close second. Like, honestly, Wataru could be my best boy. I could honestly say that like Wataru could be like my best boy alongside Ren, but Ren just it out just a tiny little bit. So, but all of Argo Novice in general is just like best boy material. So I adore all of Argo Novice so much. They're my boys. They're my desktop wallpaper. They've been my desktop wallpaper for like, I don't even know how long. It's probably coming up to a year at this point, if not like several months. So. Yay. Argo Novice. These noodles are very sticky. But they really want to stick together. It's really hard to get them out of the bowl. It's probably because they're getting cold. Today, alongside eating these spicy noodles, and I'm just realizing I'm getting like bean sauce everywhere. Oh gosh. Oh goodness gracious me. Give me a sec. Ah. Okay. So, I thought, you know, aside from me eating these spicy noodles, I thought I'd, you know, talk about stuff that I want to do in the new year, maybe reflect on what's happened this past year, and you know, that sort of thing. So, I guess let's start with how 2021 went for me. Like, when did I post that first video? That was March 7th, right? I think. Yeah, that was March 7th, because that was also my 2-year, quote-unquote, fan-anniversary of being a fan of the Argama Witch project. And I was, okay, that video took me so long to make. Like I'd said in the video that it took me about a year, but it was actually a bit longer than that. Because I'd had this idea to make this video since late 2019, when they announced like the game and the anime and stuff at like AGF 2019 and stuff. And I think even maybe a bit before then, like I kind of thought like, oh, it'd be so cool to make like a whole video just like, you know, encompassing the whole project and stuff. Even when there wasn't much to encompass at the time. And then, like, I kind of talked about it, and people were like, oh yeah, that's cool, maybe you should, like, you know, wait until there's, like, some more stuff, you know, like, once the anime and stuff is out. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. So, I actually originally wanted to make that video for the anime releasing. But, unfortunately, they didn't make the anime streamable outside of Southeast Asia, so I felt like it was, I was very disappointed at the time, and I didn't really feel like kind of trying to put in effort for it to get it out for an anime that I couldn't stream legally. So I decided, you know, I'll wait, and I'll get this out later in the year. So I just kept, you know, researching and collecting all the new, collecting, I say as if it's like a, like a gotcha, just like trying to collect all the things that happened, like all the like events and new news that came out and stuff. I just collected all that over the years, gathered all that information, put it in a giant Google Doc. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to look at that doc anymore. It's, I'm sure it's at least like 50 pages of stuff. Like, it was the script and then, like, everything that, like, happened and stuff. And then I wanted to get it out in like August of 2020, and like that didn't happen. It did not happen at all. To make a long story short, I was very like stressed in August 2020. I'm not anymore, thank goodness. So that was not happening in the slightest. And then I thought, oh, I'll get it out for my birthday in 2020. That did not happen. That for sure did not happen. What did happen was I made that little animatic of the radio line segment. So I'm glad I got that out. That was really cute. So I'm more than happy for that to have been like my start of this YouTube channel. So but then I decided, okay, it's the end of 2020. I'm not gonna get this video out. That's fine. But I want to set a deadline for myself. So I decided I would get it out on the anniversary of the day I got first single and became an Argama Witch fan in my mind. So, which was August, which was March 7th. So I worked my butt off collecting all of the visuals and making all of the graphics and recording the audio. I don't even want to mention how many times I recorded the audio. Like, not just because like I forgot how many times, but I redid that audio, like the audio that you hear in that video. I redid that at least 7 times. Maybe even more, because I just was not happy with it. And I just kept adding information and like finding out new things, and like I was like, oh, I got this wrong. Oh, I need to change this, blah, 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 blah. And in the end, I still got some things wrong, so oops. But when I finally got some audio that I was happy with, I slapped it in the video, started editing all the pieces together. I didn't edit it linearly. I did not edit it from start to finish. I edited it like from the start, and then went to the end, and then went to like the middle, and then like towards the end, and towards the beginning and stuff. I was all over the place because there were certain things that I just did not want to edit in the moment. Most of that being live footage. I was so sick of trying to get all the live footage and put it in that video. It was so taxing, so tedious. But then I finally got myself to do it, put it all together, was finishing up some of the titles and stuff that I was putting in the video, blah, blah, blah. And then I still remember like the final moments when I did the last thing that I needed to do for the video. Can't remember exactly what that was, but I did the last thing that I needed to do for that video, and I sat back and I watched it play from beginning to end. And then I had to edit some more things because then I realized the timings for certain things were off. But then once I got everything together and it was the way that I wanted it to be, the way that I could make it the best that I could, I just sat back in my seat and was like, wow, I actually did that. How did I do that? Like, that is one of the biggest things that I've like accomplished, like outside of, you know, like my daily life stuff, school, work, whatever. Like that is something that I did on my own for no reason other than just I wanted to create this thing from my own passion and determination to make this thing for something that I care about deeply. And I don't know, it was such a weird like feeling, like in a good way. Like it was a very weird good feeling, because like I felt accomplished, but I also felt like it wasn't real because I could not believe that I actually, you know, did that. Like I had thought about it for like over a year, and I had gone back to, you know, like writing about it, writing like the script and everything, you know, researching and just doing all these things and you know, like doubting myself and thinking, oh, this isn't worth it and everything. And then it was finally finished, and then the day came to upload, and I was like, wow. All right. I'm about to, you know, show off my hard work to, you know, the fandom. And let's hope that it's gonna be good. So yeah, that was, you know, my first big step in this whole YouTube channel thing. And then I, you know, made like little videos here and there about AA side and stuff and everything. And then And then I finally got a new laptop, thank God, because trying to edit on my old laptop was just the worst. It was actually the worst. It was a 7-year-old dinosaur that I got when I was still in high school, and it was so slow, and the charge would run out so fast, and the storage, don't even get me started on the storage and the RAM. It was so hard to work on that thing that when I finally got a new laptop, like, this has been a blessing. The fan goes off every time I stream, but at least it can stream. If I tried to do that on my old laptop, the moment I open, like, I tried using, like, OBS on my old laptop, the moment I opened it, it just went, like, the fan just went off, and the frame rate just dropped so badly. It was unusable. I could not even begin to think of streaming on that laptop. The only times I ever could was like back when I was still fairly new, about like 2-3 years old, and I was like using like YouTube's old streaming system thing or whatever. Cause like, you know, I didn't know how to use like streaming like OBS or anything back then. So I just used like YouTube's whatever they had, and there was no sound to or audio to any of my the games that I played, so I just played them in silence with window capture, and it was interesting. So so yeah, I'm very, very happy to have this new piece of hardware to do stuff with, and this monitor that I borrowed / kind of stole from my brother. Though he wasn't using it, it was just sitting in our hallway, and my mom's like, hey, do you want this monitor? I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. So I appreciate it very much. So yeah, once I was able to get this new laptop and start, you know, learning how to work OBS, because, like, I tried, you know, learning about it in the past, but, like, because my old laptop was so bad, it wouldn't let me run things properly, I had a really hard time trying to figure things out, and eventually I just kind of, you know, gave up and was like, okay, whatever, like, I'm not gonna deal with this right now, because obviously I can't do anything with it, so I'll wait until I have a better computer. So then once I finally did, I was like, oh, I can do this thing! So, so then, yeah, I was like, okay, now that I've kind of, you know, sort of figured out how to, like, stream things, I wanna, you know, like, I guess, quote-unquote, start VTubing. As if I haven't been for the past, like, several months already, in the weird way that I am. And, did my first stream on September 23rd, aka Kohei's birthday. Which I didn't plan, by the way. That was an accident. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, 2021 was a roller coaster for navigators. For real. For real. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I'll get into that a bit later, but yeah, that was a lot. Yeah, oh my gosh, it was very cathartic. Just like when I uploaded that video, and like if it finished and it was like, oh, your video's been uploaded, share it, blah blah whatever, I'm just like, wow, I'm done. I can't believe I did that. So, and now I have to figure out what to do for the for a new I guess info video. Not gonna be to that extent though. I might just end up doing like a stream about it, very scuffed. Just being like, hey, here are the boys, here's some more boys, this is what they're about, this is what they do. Okay, I'm done. Because I'm not going to put that much production value in it the second time. As much as I would love to, I just don't have the energy. So, oh my gosh. But yeah, since September 23rd, 2021, I have been streaming almost weekly. Almost weekly. There have been some hiccups in between then, and sometimes I just need a break. But I'm honestly kind of surprised that I've been able to keep up a somewhat of a schedule for these past few months. Cause like I'm that type of person that's like, you know, I get into like a new interest, but then like sooner or later it kind of starts to fizzle out a little bit, or like I just can't keep up with it, and I'm like, do I really want to put in more effort into this? And then I eventually just don't. But with streaming, it hasn't really been like that. Like, I mean, I feel like I could put in more effort towards it, but I mean, just doing simple stuff like this, like it's nice, and it's given me like a lot more experience with streaming, because, you know, I've watched streams before. I've you know, checked out other streamers, not just VTubers, but like, you know, like other streamers that do their own thing and stuff. Sometimes on Twitch, but like Twitch kind of scares me. I don't really know much about the platform, so I've been a little hesitant to kind of like try anything over there. But yeah, just being able to kind of like, you know, try my own things and, you know, see what works and what doesn't. Ergo, the chat obviously is not working. It's been really fun. Just kind of, you know, experiment, do my own thing, try things out, see what works and what doesn't, you know. Yeah. Stories live stream with PowerPoint presentation from Argama. Honestly, that's literally what I would do. It'd be like the most like low effort PowerPoint presentation. I'd have like, you know, like the classic word art for all the characters. Like I'm almost tempted to meme it up, but I also want it to be like informational. Informational? Informational, is that a word? Because it's not informal. That's, well, it will be informal, but that's not what the word I was trying to say. Informative. I want it to be informative, so maybe I won't like make it super memey, but you know. That'd be really fun. And yeah, I mean, not too much like was super like you know, I guess like not much of a turning point, I guess. I mean, I guess maybe the biggest turning point of 2021 was me starting streaming and, you know, starting all of this stuff. So, and obviously, like, you know, the Argo Pro video. But like, I mean, I've just been kind of doing what I'm doing. Like, I mean, 2022. I still can't believe it's already 2022. It doesn't feel like it's 2022. But 2022, and I'm sitting at like 441 subscribers right now. You know what? That's pretty damn good. Definitely wasn't expecting it. I honestly have no idea what I was expecting. I honestly don't think I had any expectations. I just wanted to do my own thing and just, you know, see what happens. And the fact that y'all are here with me and just kind of, you know, enjoying this, whatever this is. I appreciate it. It's nice hanging out with you guys. So. Oh, hello! Welcome! Oh, that's okay. Holidays, you know, the holidays are a free pass, you know, to go do stuff and whatever. Like, even if it's not in the holidays, you don't have to be here. I'm totally fine with that. Like, you have your own lives, you can do whatever you want. But the fact that you can, like, drop by just to say hi or whatever, like, I appreciate that. It's nice. So, like, again, it's not necessary to be at every single stream. But, like, you know, just kind of, you know, if you are able to pop by and say hi, I really appreciate that, so. Yay. I should probably, sometimes I feel like I should, like, read, like, a dictionary just so I can, like, improve my vocabulary. Because, like, I feel like I want, like, the way I want to explain things and the way that they are explained just don't, like, they don't match up. Like, in my head, I'm so eloquent and I'm so, like, you know, poised and proper, and I, you know, explain myself very well, but then when I, like, speak it don't sound like that at all. It's just like, and, like, not, and don't even start on my word flubs and my stuttering and everything, which I'm also trying to improve on. That's another thing that I really like about, like, streaming the way that I have been, is that, like, I'm not a very talkative person, IRL, and it's kind of hard for me to, like, you know, speak a lot. Especially if I'm, like, not in a situation where I'm, like, super comfortable with, like, if I know the people very well, or I'm in a new environment, or I'm just, you know, feeling anxious or whatever. So I tend to be, like, very quiet and very, like, you know, kind of on the back burner, so to speak. So to be able to kind of, you know, just, like, trying to, I guess, talk about things and stuff, commentary, whatever. Here is like, it's very good practice for me to like be able to, you know, try to converse, try to, you know, work on my speaking skills, which is kind of ironic as a theater kid. Like, I guess I'm not really the typical theater kid, really. Like, I was like very into like theater like later on in high school, and I was always very, I guess you could like call me like, I guess like a wallflower maybe, so to speak. Like, I wasn't very outgoing. I wasn't very like, oh, I'm like, spotlight on me, please. I'm like I get the spotlight, or I get to stand up at the front of the room, and I'm like, oh god, I don't want to be here. It's so weird that I have like such like a weird like stage fright, yet I love performing. And I think it's just because like when I am performing, I kind of get into that zone, and like I'm in that like that same world where like everybody is also in that same world that I'm performing it with, and we have like this sort of like I guess the same idea going on, like we have the same understanding of what's happening and stuff. So they know that like we have like this, I guess, trust that like if anything happens, we'll be there to cover for each other. Just because like that's how like, you know, like that's how the theater world works and stuff. Because like a cast is a team, so we all work together to make sure we have like the best show possible. So I guess in that sense, it even if I am alone, I'm not actually alone. And like the same thing goes for like, you know, like singing stuff and everything. Like everyone backstage and everyone who's like, you know, been helping you prep and everything, they're all there. So it doesn't really feel like you're doing this by yourself. You've got like this support kind of holding you, like kind of like patting your back, pushing you forward, even if you are by yourself under a spotlight. Oops. I just hit my mic. Doesn't really feel that way when it's like a school presentation or a project or something. It's like nobody cares. It just feels very, very hostile in a way. So, but yeah, yeah. Chat isn't showing in the stream. I don't know why. I need to figure that out. It makes me sad. So. Actually, speaking of chat, or I guess maybe the overlay in general, like I've been using like free use overlays and stuff, but I have been considering maybe like getting like a personally like a commissioned overlay that's like, you know, for me. That'd be really cool. I can figure out what I want to do with that. Have like a nice new overlay for the new year. I also consider getting like new background music, but like one step at a time. So, plus I like this one. I'm not gonna replace this one just yet, I say, but who knows? Who knows what the future holds? Maybe something interesting will happen in 2022 that'll make me rethink everything. So, yeah, wanting to perform but not wanting to be perceived. That's a very good way of putting it. That's a very good way. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's essentially that's a good way. That is a good way of putting it. I think I just said that like 4 times already. But yeah, it's also kind of why I like doing this sort of thing. It's like, you know, I get to kind of put myself out there, but it's like also not like me being put out there. It's like, you know, me in a different way. So, yay. Yes, getting back to something I was going to talk about earlier, the roller coaster of emotions for 2021 for navigators. Holy crap. 2021 was so... I don't even know how to describe it. There was a lot going on. It was like, I remember this time last year, there was just like this, like building a hope and excitement for what was to come, because they had just announced, like in the previous month, during Argama Witch's short Sound Only Live, that Double A side was releasing, or no, it was in November that they announced that Double A side was going to be releasing in January. They hadn't said the date specifically, but they said it was going to be in January. So, like, when they had like their New Year's stream and then they like announced that it would be releasing on the 14th, everyone was so excited, so hyped up, just getting ready for, you know, this game that we've been waiting for quite some time. And then and then it released, and do I I guess because okay, so the game is closing. I don't know if anybody was unaware of that fact, but just to preface, Double A side is closing at the end of this month on January 31st at, I don't know what time it is exactly, but it'll be around 2 a.m. for me. So I think when Double A side had initially opened service, the first thing is that it took so long for the servers to actually open up, and they didn't actually specify a time when they would be opening up. Everyone was like, you know, staying up late and waiting for like, you know, like the game to open up so they could start playing and stuff. And like, it didn't open until like, I want to say maybe like 5 p.m. my time, which I'm not exactly sure what time that would be for other people, but it was like almost like at least over half a day later than like the initial like release time. Like everyone expected it to be like, you know, open at midnight JST, but it wasn't. But honestly, that's not like the biggest issue. It was more the fact that they didn't specify when it was gonna be opening. And everyone was just, you know, waiting and trying to open the game and stuff, and like just trying to see what's happening, and people were losing sleep over it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is already kind of off to a bad start. Like everyone just like, the game is not going anywhere at the time. So just like, you know, go to bed, get some sleep. Don't stress yourself over this, please. So when it did finally open, I remember I had just gotten back from work and I was like, oh my gosh, the game's open, yay! I thought I was gonna, you know, record a video about like my reaction towards it and like, you know, my first impressions and doing like some scouting and stuff. I initially had recorded some footage, but I could not post it. I absolutely could not post it because I could not hide my disappointment. Like, I felt so bad. I was so excited for this game, but when I had opened it and when I just kind of saw how everything was and just like, you know, the general scope of the game and the little details that just weren't there, all the glitches, and like there was a time where Navi stones were actually supposed to expire after 3 months. They got rid of that day too because everyone was like, please don't do that. So at that time when that hadn't happened and just all the other things that were just kind of building up, just kind of adding up, like all the little things that just added up to it being like, you know, this really big sort of disappointment, I could not bring myself to edit and post the video. I just couldn't. I was like, there's no way I can do this. I don't want people to see this and think badly of the game. So I didn't. I instead just posted about it like on Twitter and stuff. So it was like, it wasn't like, you know, a complete loss though. Like there was a lot of fun things about it, but I think slowly as time went on, people started realizing, like if they had realized initially, later on, especially when like the events started, that there was a lot of things to be desired about Double A side. And don't get me wrong, I still hold the game very dear and near to my heart, and I still play it. I'm gonna play it up until end of service. But what really gets me is that the game initially, when they were getting you know, pre-registrations for like in-game items and stuff. You're like, oh, if we get to this many pre-registrations, we'll get like, you know, this microphone, and we'll get these complimentary Navi stones, something like that, blah blah blah. There were over 400,000 pre-registrations. And the first event, the very first event, had under 70,000 players. So, like, I'm not exactly sure what happened at that point, but I'm pretty sure when everybody started playing, they realized that's what was happening, and it just kind of started going downhill from there. The next event had about 40,000 players. The next event had like over 30,000. Then the next one just had about 30,000. Then the next was like, you know, under 30,000 and like 25,000, stuff like that. Like, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse throughout the year. And oh god, it was so hard to watch. I was so worried about the game. I was like, why are they not doing a better job to, you know, take care of this game? Like, it's already a few months in, and we have been losing players like rapid. And for whatever reason, I guess maybe it was because, like, you know, like, talking about something in, like, that you care about in, like, not a positive way. Like, some people just, like, they don't want to do that. They don't want to see that. I understand that. But I felt like a lot of people just wanted to pretend that it didn't exist, that the problems weren't there, and just, you know, like, be grateful for, you know, what was going on. And don't get me wrong, I understand where they're coming from, but if people are unhappy with something, you can't stop them from talking about it. Like, there's just something innately wrong about trying to control how people feel about a certain thing because you feel a certain way about something. Especially when it comes to, like, criticism about something that we all love, that we're all fans of. I just felt like that was kind of wrong, and I did not agree with that at all. It really rubbed me the wrong way. So, for those of you who have seen my tweets, you know how I feel about certain things. So, over 2020 and 2021, I kind of built up this, like, I guess, how would I describe it? Like, I'm someone who cares about what other people think of me, but not as much as I used to. Like, I used to be that kind of person who was like, oh, I don't want to, like, disagree with you, so I'll just agree to keep the peace or whatever. But lately I have been more and more forthcoming with my own opinions and how I feel about certain things. And if people disagree with me, that's fine. We can, like, you know, talk things out and stuff, and maybe we still won't see eye to eye. But especially when it comes to, like, you know, like, the project stuff, like, that's really what I'm getting at. I have certain opinions about how I feel about things, and some people weren't, you know, they didn't really like that. And you know what? I understand completely. So, there was a bit of tension that came across in this past year towards the game, and how it was being perceived and how it was being handled and everything. And yeah, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. Like, I was just so worried for it. Like, every time, like, a new event came out or a new, like, bug fix came out, only for things to, like, barely change or get better, I was just, oh gosh, I was but yeah, I was fully under the impression that this game would not last. If they weren't going to change things and they weren't going to improve them for the better, this game was not going to last. Like I was thinking, oh, in a year's time, this game might not even exist. And then a couple months later, it's like, oh, AA side has announced its end of service. It's like, well, that aged a little bit too well. So, and just, like, you know, just the whole, like, the pandemic in general just making things worse. Like, there were a few times like I was actually like genuinely worried about like this project's future, because like I just wasn't sure what was going to happen. Like everything just felt so uncertain, so naturally the project just became one of those things I started worrying about. And then I, you know, started feeling a little guilty that I wasn't doing like, you know, like the unofficial PR manager stuff that I used to do back in the day. So I was like, is this my fault in a way? Like, I know it's stupid to think about, but like, you know, when you've had like any sort of impact in like in some way, then you start to feel like a bit of a like responsibility, I guess. And then I guess like me dropping that responsibility, it just like I guess I dropped. I did. How do I explain this? How do I explain this? I guess like I stopped taking on the responsibility, but I still felt like I should be responsible for, you know, like promoting the project and talking about it with other people and just, you know, constantly pushing it. When I stopped doing that, like it's not like I never talk about it or like push the project anymore, but like not to that degree. Like when I say like my nickname was the unofficial PR manager, like I like that, it was like I almost took it like a second job. Like it was that serious, and that was very taxing on my my mental health. It wasn't good. So I'm still trying to like, I guess, unlearn that feeling I need to be responsible for this project and how people perceive it and how people notice it and stuff, which it's gotten better, but I still kind of feel like, oh, if something's happening, I have to talk about it. I have to show other people, which, you know, I don't. It's literally not my job. If I were getting paid for it, that would be a different story. That would be a like 100% different story. But yeah, so yeah, the way that they phrased the end of service announcement, like I wasn't awake when that happened. Like I woke up, I think, around 8 a.m. my time, and when it was announced it was around 2 a.m. my time. So when I woke up and I was on, like, you know, looking through Twitter, and I just saw everybody talking about this news and stuff, and like the lone articles that were just like, you know, floating around from like the Bushi Twitter or whatever, I was like, oh my gosh, they actually, so that was an interesting time. And then that talk stream happened and I cried, you know, all that fun stuff. Yay! I can't believe that was 2 months ago. Oh my gosh, that was, wow. Yep, my noodles are definitely cold. That's okay. I'll still eat them. Yeah, I swear, like those 2 days when they announced like the end of service, and then they talked about the new company as well, and then Kito Bokura wa, and then like that whole week. Holy crap! There's this one article. You've probably seen it. It's what's the Twitter called? It's like the hand that feeds something or other like that. They wrote an article about all the news that happened within that week, and one of the first lines was like, it's been an emotional week for or emotional roller coaster for Argama Witch fans, and we're all just like, yeah, it has been. So, just like, I think we literally went through like the 5 stages of grief before they announced the next things that were happening at Kito Bokura wa. And you know, I'm gonna be honest, like I was I was like kind of, you know, I was more on the hopeful side of things, because like hearing about like, oh, how they're like they're not gonna be they're gonna have like their own company and stuff. And even though they hadn't like officially announced that they were dropping Bang Dream, like you know, it was kind of like implied, but obviously not confirmed at the point. sorry, at the time. So I was like, okay, this is like a fresh start for them. I think this is gonna be good for them. But you know me, I always constantly worry and overthink things. So I was kind of worried that, you know, whatever they were going, you know, like usually announce at like you know, the encore announcement time, it wasn't like there would, you know, be some kind of sad news and stuff. And then they kind of blew us away with literally everything. So like, honestly, I was not expecting any of that to happen at all. So, I mean, kudos to them. They really knocked it out of the park. And, like, I mean, if we saw what was, like, going on from our perspective, imagine what they saw, what they were experiencing behind the scenes. Like, I think they knew just as well as we did, even more so, about how unfair things were and how they were not, you know, reaching their full potential as a project because of whatever biases, company that will not be named, held against them. Like, I mean, Argama had the Bang Dream name, but it never wrote off the Bang Dream name in the slightest. They did everything from themselves, within themselves, and even with all of those roadblocks and obstacles, they have delivered such amazing and fantastic content for its fans, who are the most passionate fans. I've said this many times before, and I will say it again. Argama fans are some of the most passionate people I have ever seen in my entire life. And to be able to, like, you know, kind of encompass that in this company rebrand moving forward sort of thing. Being like, okay, we've kind of always known that they were never really a part of Bang Dream, and now it is official that this is them standing on their own, as they've always been, but now they have the power to say that it is just them and to walk forward as Argama, from Argama and nothing else. So I think there was like some sort of, like, you know, I think there was a bit of, like, you know, power in saying that and being able to be like, yeah, we're branching off from being just, like, you know, this, like, project from this other franchise and just becoming our own thing. So I was very, very excited and happy for them when they announced that. So, and you know, Argo Co Ltd official first day opening is coming up in a month. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very much looking forward to it, and what they have to offer and what they have to show us and what they have planned. And I mean, considering everything that they've already shown us, not to mention the recent announcement for the Hololive collab, not Hololive, Holostars collab, I think they've already been proving well enough that they really didn't need anybody else. It has always been them to make everything happen, and now they're making it happen even more. The sky's the limit, and they are soaring. Yeah, I know, right? 2 months? It feels like it's been like 4 years. Like, what? I honestly can't believe it. Time is such a weird thing nowadays, especially like nowadays. Like 2021, okay, there's usually, like, when I get to, like, the end of a year, for me personally, when I get to, like, you know, the end of the year, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this year's had, like, its run, but now I feel like it's, like, time for the new year. Yesterday I was like, how is it already gonna be 2022? It just feels like 2021 hasn't happened yet. What are you talking about? Like a year has like, you know, like a, for me, I guess in my head it has like, you know, like an expiry date, and once it gets to its expiry date, it's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But then like, but for me now, I'm just like, 2021's still fresh. What are you talking about? It just started. Like what? So, but now 2021's been cast aside for the past to look back on, but not to dwell on as we move forward into 2022. So, honestly, the whiplash was nuts. The whiplash was so. It's just like, can you give us a moment to breathe, to take this in? Because I can't handle this. It was so much. There's so much going on. I was like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, I was obviously happy, but I was like, whoa, hold on. So slow down. I need to comprehend everything you just said and what you're gonna say next. Because you just told me like 2 years worth of stuff in like 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, like a minute, like oh, it was so much going on. But I also enjoyed it. I was very, very pleased with everything, even if it took me like an hour to process. Also, I'm a little late in asking this because it's already been an hour, but I hope the volumes have been okay. I hope you've been able to hear me. And the music hasn't been too loud or isn't too quiet, but you know, we really in it now, so you know. Oops. Oh well. Oh my gosh, the goal line performance. Like, I am very much looking forward to when they put Kito Bokurawa live on Blu-ray, but I'm also not looking forward to watching Masa cry on stage again, because I'm gonna start crying again. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I think, I kind of noticed it throughout the live that he was like, you know, kind of starting to get a little choked up, but like, you know, he kind of like, you know, kept himself composed, you know, for the sake of the performance and everything. But then when it got to like the final chorus of Goal Line, he turned around. I was just like, I just felt like my heart just like squeezing, and I was just like, oh my god, no. Oh my gosh. Like, I just felt so awful, and then he started crying and he couldn't keep singing, and I was just like, I was in tears at that point. I was like, oh my god, it was like, honestly, to this day, I still think to myself, okay, if Masa can get through Goal Line while crying on stage in front of like thousands of people, I can get through my day. I can get through my day. Oh man, and then like, and then Hyusuke, like, he walked over and he just like, you know, kind of bumped shoulders with him and started like, he kept playing with him and he was just like encouraging him. And it was, oh my gosh. And the fan art that came from that, please, oh my gosh. Like, that's the only time we've ever had Ren crying was a fan art. But the whole moment was just so sweet and just so, it was so heartbreaking too, because like, you know, as like kind of like, I guess, the face of like Argonavis and like the person that kind of, you know, was like at the forefront of all of this, I can only imagine what he had gone through, what he had like, you know, faced, and all the stress that he has been under. So especially, you know, with like Goal Line sort of being like the, I don't know if you consider it like the anthem. It's one of like the most like important songs in the project for sure. Like, considering like it is like the first single, the first officially released song. But yeah, just I guess like it just built up to a point where he just couldn't like, you know, handle it, like, and it just kind of came pouring out, even if he was like, you know, trying so hard to keep it. Like that's the great thing about emotions. Like you keep them like bottled up as best you can, but sometimes there's just one little thing that just kind of pushes it to the edge, and then suddenly you just gotta let it all out. You just gotta cry. You just gotta. So, and obviously I don't fault him for that at all. Like, if anything, like, if anyone deserves to, like, you know, cry, it's him. Like, he definitely needed, like, some outlet for whatever he had been going through. And like the rest of the Argama members too, I can only imagine, like, what hardships they had to face. Like, yeah, it's just, it's painful to think about, because, like, I'm trying not to cry myself, because I'm remembering 2 months ago when I did that talkie stream, and I just started crying about when I saw the hate and stuff they were getting. But it's just, yeah, it's just unfair. But they're moving forward, and they're stronger than ever, and they've got, you know, so much support behind them, and I'm just really glad for them, really happy for them, and I will support them for as long as I am able to, as long as I have the means to. Hold on. Something's in my throat. Okay, so the honey was more or less dispersed through my tea. It's not sickeningly sweet. Thank goodness. Hold on, I'm just reading this one comment. Any thoughts on the probably new Argama game? Well, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really thought much about it apart from, like, you know, new game, and they might, you know, branch out to, like, overseas players, maybe, cross my fingers, maybe, I don't know. That'd be really nice. But like, apart from, like, what the game could be, honestly, I'm not really sure. The one thing I'm hoping for is, no 3D. Unless it's done really well. Unless it's, like, you know, like what projects that guy's got. Like, I'm okay with having no 3D anything. just have, like, some really nice live 2D something or other. And maybe not have it be, okay, this is a really weird thing to be, like, adamant about, but I don't really care for phone games that are vertical, that are, like, portrait oriented. I like them when they're landscape. I like holding the phone, like, sideways to play them. For some reason, holding it like you would normally just feels tacky to me. I don't know why. I just don't like it. I prefer games that are in a landscape orientation. Which is so odd, but yeah. So, yeah, that's my main thing. I just hope that they do that they have a landscape-oriented game. Oh my gosh. But as for, like, what the game will, like, entail, I don't really know. Like, apart from what they've already said about it being more story-based, I'm not really sure what they have in mind. Because, like, this is always, like, very, like, far off in, like, the beginnings of the game. So they maybe could, like, you know, change their mind about certain things. They maybe, like, it's probably still in, like, some development stages, and it probably, unless they've been working on it since, like, so I kind of have this theory that they started, like, maybe they started thinking about, like, working on, like, this new game when they pushed back the release for AA Select, because it was originally supposed to release in the latter half of 2020, and then they announced it actually would be pushed back until early 2021. So I kind of think that maybe they were thinking, like, especially because of how AA side was like run for a while, that maybe they were contemplating like making a new game, especially along with like the new company that they were working on in the background. So maybe they've got some idea of what they want to do, but I feel like it's still too early to make any sort of assumptions that they'd have like a solid ground plan for what they want to do. But yeah, I really don't know what they'd decide to do, honestly. Like, I feel like I need to play more molages just to be like, have an idea, because like, basically all I've really played is like, you know, rhythm games. Yeah, it's mostly just rhythm games. Whatever localized rhythm games that they've come up with. Some puzzle games too, but like, not a whole lot. So, I don't really know what kind of style of game they would have, apart from like a rhythm game, which they've already stated that they're not going to, but if it is something maybe like A3 or Mahoyaku or something like that, like, that'd be interesting. It'd be very interesting to like, you know, check out. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. Especially when, like, you know, incorporating the music and stuff. Like, I know A3 has their thing where it's like, you know, the songs are in relation to like the plays and things like that. So, and like, I don't mind A3. It did get a little boring after a while. Rest in peace, A3 English localization. I still remember you. I still remember I teared for, oh, I forget what the name of the play was, but I teared for Steampunk Tsuzuru so I could get the, I could get the third copy of was it an SSR or whatever the highest rarity card was. I can't remember. I think it's an SSR. It's so weird how some games have like, excuse me, they have like SSRs as their like top rarity, and then some have URs as their top rarity. So it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And then some games have stars. Some have 4 stars. Some have 5 stars. So. I'm trying to think, what other games have I played? Because I mean, like the first, I think the first mobile rhythm game I ever played that was like localized was Love Live School Idol Festival. And at the time, I didn't know what Love Live was. I was just, you know, I was like, you know, 2014. I was just, you know, I was really getting into anime at the time, and I was looking through the App Store, and I just saw this game that was, I'm like, okay, sure, yeah, I don't know what this is, but I'll download it. And I hadn't realized that this was actually like maybe about a month or two after the game had officially been like released in English. So I started playing really early on. I didn't know how it worked though. I didn't know how to save for pulls. I literally just played for the rhythm aspect. I had no idea what the whole like saving up for like a 10+1 was. I didn't understand that. I always did solo YOLOs. I did get quite a few good cards with solo YOLOs though. Not gonna brag, but I got 2 copies of like Kotori's like initial UR, so I idolized her right off the bat, and she was like my most powerful card for such a long time. And then I started learning more about the game, and I was like, oh, so that's what happens. You get the new cards, the powers and things, and then you can save it up, and then pull for your best girl and blah 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 blah. So I was like, because at the time I didn't know what Love Live was. I didn't know what the anime was or the project or anything. So like I think I had come across like Start Dash in like 2013 on YouTube just randomly. I didn't know what it was. I was like, okay, cool. This is the thing. So, but then later on, I looked into it more, and then I watched the anime, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. Cool. This is cool. So, yeah, and then I think that was like what I primarily played for a really long time. Until I started getting into like Japanese mobile games that didn't have localizations yet. Which I think was closer to like, I want to say like 2018, 2019, because that was also when I think that's also when Girls Band Party was released in English. That's when I started playing that. Because I'd seen like a bit about it when it was still just in Japanese, and I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Again, I don't know anything about it, so whatever. And then it got released in English. I'm like, I see what's going on. Oh, this is cool. So, yeah. Yeah, Clockwork Heartbeat. That's what it was. That's what it was. I never got Citron from it. I never got Citron from that set, and it makes me so mad because I had everybody else except Citron, and I pulled so many times and I didn't get him once. I was so mad, so mad. But honestly, like Suzuru's SSR, like that card is my favorite card. I do like. There's so many amazing cards in A3, but that card is very special to me because I saw that card for the first time when A3 was ramping up to get released, and they were like showing off a bunch of different stuff. I saw that card, and that's what made Tsuzuru my best boy, because I just love that card so much. So, oh my gosh. Curse you, Citron, why are you so elusive? You didn't have to be that elusive, boy. We just wanted to get your card. Why did you have to like evade us so? I've been like so into talking this whole time. My noodles have like barely gotten through any of them, so forgive me if I'm like making like the worst like eating noises. I'm just trying to catch up. Yeah. Like, these noodles aren't as spicy as like the original ones. If you got like a mouthful of the noodles, it kinda hits you. Kinda hits you a little bit. Oh, I feel that in my nose. Nice, I need to clear my sinuses. Yeah, Clockwork was so good. And like, there's this other card that I see of him sometimes, and he's got like a paintball gun or something. And when I first saw that, I'm just like, Tsuzuru with a gun? So, I like that art too. I don't know what set that's from. I can't remember if it was an event or just like a random set that they put in between events, but I like that card a lot. I think it's a really neat card. Thank you. I appreciate the luck on the nudes. The noodles! By the way, I hope y'all like the pun I put in the title of this this stream. I was like, okay, how can I phrase this in a way to make it sound interesting? Okay, let's see. So this is gonna be a New Year stream, so new year. And I'm gonna be eating noodles. New year, noodles, and yeah. So, I'm sorry, but I also hope you thought it was funny. Oh, the one where he's in like the glass jar or something? Is that the one, or the bottle? He's in a bottle or something? I don't know. I like that one too. I've seen that one a couple times. That one's really pretty. Very, very pretty. I feel like in the last like little like year or so, they've been kind of like, they've kind of been like amping up the extra little details they put in the in A3 cards, because especially like I noticed like in the beginning, like they were kind of a bit like stiff, and like as far as like posing went and like little details and stuff. But like especially lately in the past like few sets they've had that I've just seen like on Twitter, they've really been amping up the quality, and they look gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Like there's like, I think there's like one like magician set or something that I saw recently. Holy crap, that was beautiful. And like the way they do it, like the coloring, the shading, just looks so soft, and it makes the colors like super vibrant and just all glowy and pretty, and oh, I love it. I love it. We love to see art improvement. Absolutely love it. We love to see it. So I pray A3 will have more art improvements in 2022. All the best to A3. So actually A3, yeah, A3 is another one of those interests that like I had for a while, but then it just kind of like slowly fizzled out. And I feel really bad because I really liked it. I mean, like, you know, I've talked too much about being a theater kid or being in theater, but it really resonated with me because I'm like, oh hey, it's a game about actors. I like this, and I understood, like, you know, some of like the phrases and jargon that they had going on, and like the difficulties of like, you know, running a theater. I'm like, yeah, I get that. So I'm sad that I haven't really kept up with it. So yeah, maybe one day in the future I'll get back to it. We'll see. That might be a little difficult, especially with like, you know, the lack of like, I mean, I know there's like the wiki and stuff. I can look up stories and everything. I have stories. But you know, having like the game, like the English server was very, very nice. So I'm really sad that that's not really a thing anymore. I mean, like the server's not like closed, right? Or something. I don't know. Cause like the way that they worded it, it seemed like they could come back to it at some point, but like, I don't know. Again, I didn't really look into it much. I just knew that, like, you know, the server was, like, you know, stopping stuff. But I saw a lot of people saying, like, oh, like, save your, like, data, like, your transfer data or whatever, just in case, like, they ever, like, come back to it or something. So I don't know if that was, like, you know, legit or not, but yeah. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. It's not closed, but they aren't updating it anymore. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So, yeah, I haven't really checked my my user profile in a while. So, I think I did like save my transfer data code or whatever just in case. But like, other than that, I haven't really like gone like, you know, looked at it in a while. So I feel kind of bad about that. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people, like, especially with like all the recent like announcements for localizations and stuff. Everyone's been like, you know, really still holding on to like, you know, A3, you know, they'll come back someday, and I'd love for them to come back because I really think that like the A3 like English localization has been one of the best localizations for a game in a really long time, especially like when you think about like, you know, like early 2000s localizations that were barely even localizations, and like this was like, it kept like the core material of what was originally, you know, in the Japanese version, but then it also had like that nice like twist on it that made it, you know, like, you know, there's like this whole debate about like you know, proper translations and like, you know, accurate translations or literal translations or whatever. And the fact of the matter is like Japanese and English, obviously, they are not the same language. So if you try to translate one into the other, there are going to be some things that just will not work, because it's not just like, you know, the words, but also like the connotations that certain words hold that just cannot translate over unless they are like, you know, adjusted to be able to fit what that language is being translated into that the people will understand. So when they, you know, they translated like stuff from the Japanese version into English, and they kept like, you know, the same nuance of the jokes, but then they like, you know, changed them so that they would be more receptive to an English speaking audience. The way they did that was so genius and so funny, and it just made me, you know, I guess have faith in English localizations again, because like sometimes you come across like English translations and they are so dry or they're just so wrong and you're like, what is this? It just feels like it feels like there's just such a lack of respect for like the original work. But the way that A3 did it was so good, but still kept the heart and the intent of what was said originally. I thought that was great. I thought that was fantastic. And mind you, I say this as someone who is studying Japanese on her own time. I'm in no way a professional translator or anything of the sort, but this is just what I've noticed over the years of consuming fan content from a different language. That I found that there's like, a fine line between, getting like the literal definitive translation and putting your own like spin on it and like kind of, making it more entertaining. There's a good balance that you need to find in order to make like a really good translation. Because like on one hand you could be like, proper like the literal translation of what was said, but then it doesn't sound right to like a native speaker's ears. Like it sounds like too formal, or it sounds like the sentence structure is awkward, and it just doesn't immerse you in the story as well as like what the Japanese version would originally do if you were a native speaker of Japanese. Or you could have like this really super entertaining, like over the top translation, but completely lose the meaning of what was originally said, and then you've just lost like the entire story. You need to find that good balance between the entertaining and the informative. Bring that together, and that's how you get a good translation. In my opinion. I just need to represent. In my opinion. I'm sure there are tons of other articles and professionals that have like way better informative opinions and things about this than I do, but this is just, what I've observed, so. Yeah! That's showbiz, baby! For real! Oh my gosh, that line is so funny. I see it everywhere now. We're like widows. Stop! I love that. When will my husband return from the theater? Yeah, translator struggles. Like, y'all are troopers. Like, just trying to like, translate things like on my own time, just for myself. It's like so hard because like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. But people do this for like, profession or just like, like fan translations on their own time. I respect y'all. I respect y'all on the grind. Hold on, I'm just gonna blow my nose for a second. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Yay. Time for more noodles. Yeah, I think if I still have, like, enough noodles, in my bowl when the stream ends, I'll just go downstairs and I'll just microwave things. As much as I love eating cold noodles, I would like some hot noodles. Some hot nudes. That sounds really bad out of context. Yikes! These noodles are so long. What the heck? I feel like I should break the noodle brick as I call it, in half before I do these, but like, I also just like, don't want to. No, I haven't. I've been talking this whole time. I know the whole purpose of this was to, like, you know, me eating lunch, but I've been having so much fun talking, so I just haven't been eating. I'm healthily pacing myself. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm healthily pacing myself. They do. They're actually like they are quite a reasonable sized portion. I did have an apple and a piece of bread before I ate these, just because I didn't want to eat these on an empty stomach. I'm not the kind of person that eats breakfast in the morning, so I can only it's not that I can't eat, but I really shouldn't eat before 10 a.m. Otherwise, my stomach wreaks havoc on me and makes me pay for eating so early in the morning. So, yay! Excuse me. Excuse me. But yeah, so I only ate something like about around 10:50 my time, and then I made these about like 1:45 to noon. So like I wasn't like completely hungry at that point. I, you know, get some fruit in, get some, you know, other roughage in there, just, you know, be a nice, you know, padding for the spicy noodles incoming, because I've eaten spicy noodles on an empty stomach. Did not end well for me. They really did not end well for me. I would not recommend people do that. At least have like something in your stomach before you eat spicy noodles, because they will wreak havoc on your system and you will regret it immensely. Like, oof. Unless you have like a stomach made of like iron, steel, indestructible material, don't do that. Don't eat spicy noodles on an empty stomach. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Please don't do it. Just don't do it. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm not sure if you're saying about like my inability to eat breakfast or the spicy noodle things, but regardless, I'm okay. I am okay. In regards to like the food thing, the early morning food thing, for one reason or another, like I used to eat breakfast. I used to eat breakfast like, you know, every single day or whatever. Like, you know, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, blah blah blah. But then somewhere around like in high school, I want to say like 11th grade or something, for some reason, whatever reason it was, I just could not hold down food in the mornings anymore. Like, I would constantly be like, you know, sick in the morning if I ate something, and I didn't know why. So eventually I just stopped eating breakfast, just because, like, I mean, there was no point. It was gonna make me feel awful. Why put myself through that? And please don't judge me for this, but I actually don't really like a lot of breakfast foods. I mean, like, you know, if we're talking about like pancakes, waffles, sausage, bacon, stuff like that, I'm totally fine with that. That stuff is like bomb. But I cannot eat eggs. I can't eat eggs at all. Like, if they're mixed in with something, like, I've gotten into this habit of, like, you know, getting like a ramen packet and then mixing like the powder with like an egg yolk and then like some Kewpie mayo. That's a fantastic hack, by the way. If you ever want to try that, please do. It makes the broth so much richer and so much creamier. It's so good. But unless it's like mixed in with something that I can't taste the egg itself, I can't eat. I can't eat like scrambled eggs or fried egg or just like, you know, eggs on their own. I can't do it. It's a weird thing for me. Like, it's a taste thing and it's a texture thing. I have weird texture things where, like, if it's a certain texture or like if it's a weird mouthfeel, I can't eat it. Or I just have a very hard time eating it, and I don't want to put myself through the stress of trying to eat it. So, eggs are just one of those things that, like, no matter what you do to it, unless you, like, cover it up with something else, or mix it in with something else, then I just can't eat it. It's not like an allergy or anything, it's, like, just, like, solely, like, a preference that I just cannot tolerate. So... Hello, welcome! Thank you so much for joining. I'm talking about how I can't eat eggs, really. Oh my gosh, this reminds me of this one time, like, so, excuse me, when I was still in high school, I went to Osaka for 2 weeks as part of, like, an exchange. It wasn't like an exchange where, like, I went over and then, like, another kid came back to, like, my hometown. It was like, we went over to Osaka for 2 weeks, and then, in April, they came, over to, my hometown. So, it was interesting how we did that, but whatever. That's how it was done. So, my homestay mom, she, like, packed me, like, bentos and stuff for my school lunches, and it was so sweet. But I opened up one of them one day, and it had, like, a rolled egg, I think it was just, like, a rolled egg, like a tamagos, whatever. It wasn't, I don't know if it had, like, a seaweed wrapped around it or something, but it was just, like, a rolled egg omelet thing cut up in my bento. I was like, oh no, I can't. Like, I felt so bad because, like, I didn't want to leave anything in there because, like, you know, I really, like, appreciated her, like, packing the lunches and stuff. I didn't want to, you know, like, get, like, not eat anything. I just felt bad, but, like, it was a rolled egg. I couldn't do it. Like, for the sake of my homestay mom, I decided to take a bite. Just to be like, oh, maybe it won't be as bad as I remember. Maybe I'll be able to eat it. I took one bite. Oh, no. Like, it didn't, like, it wasn't I wouldn't be able to tell what a good or bad eggs taste like because, like, I don't like eggs anyways, but, like, it wasn't, like, bad because it, like, tasted bad. It was bad because I just did not like it at all. I couldn't do it. I took the one bite, I was like, I can't eat the rest of it. There was like 2 rolled omelet eggs in there, and I was like, I can't do this, I'm sorry, I can't eat it. So, and I know that's like a really, like, I guess, like, smooth brain opinion, because, like, you know, every breakfast place offers egg dishes and whatever. I just can't do it. That's also why I don't really like eating breakfast anyways, because so many places just offer eggs and almost nothing else, and there's nothing for me to eat, so, like, there's no point. I'll just wait until lunch, and then I'll have, like, things that I actually can and will tolerate eating, so. Oh my gosh. And that's just the tea, because I drank all of it, so now all the tea's gone, so. maybe one day in the future, like how I used to not like beans, but then, like, it was a primary, like, food at my old work, so then I ended up liking them. Maybe that'll happen with eggs one day. Maybe not. Who knows? It's 2022, anything can happen. Yeah, like, I can understand why people would like eggs. It's just, for me, I just can't do it. It's just not something I enjoy at all, under any circumstances. Like, when it comes to things like, you know, like fried rice, with, like, you know, like, you crack in the egg and stuff and you mix it in with, like, the rice and everything, I don't mind that. It's because that there's, like, all the other, like, components of the dish and flavors that are, like, hiding the egg, I can eat that. But if the egg is a really prominent taste or, like, a really prominent texture, no, I can't do it. I cannot do it for the life of me. And it's kind of frustrating though, because it's like, it just feels like such like, you know, like kind of like a childish thing to be like so adamant about, but it really messes with me to the point that I just can't eat it, and I feel bad because it's like this tiny thing that's like, you know, stopping me from like, you know, doing just normal things. So it's like oh, if someone's going out to like, you know, a breakfast place, whatever, or making breakfast, I'm like, oh no, it's okay, I'm fine or whatever. But then because it's like, what if there's just eggs there and I can't eat it, and then people see me that I can't eat it, and then I feel bad and I feel weird and they're judging me because I don't like eggs. And it's just like, it's like a tiny thing, but then it's like, you know, it's because it's a tiny thing that I feel like people would not understand why I can't, you know, just eat it. And to be honest, I don't really know myself why I just can't, you know, just suck it up and just do it, but like, I don't know, my brain does weird things to me sometimes. About halfway done this bowl now. I think it gets spicier in the middle, which is weird. I guess the sauce is starting to pile up closer to the bottom of the bowl. So. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, everyone does have like their own preferences and stuff. I guess like, I don't know, I just cause like it's like a very like, you know, I guess a basic food that I just can't eat. People were like, what? You don't like eggs? It's like, I'm sorry, I just can't. My diet is just water. Like, you go by your name, flowers. Like, I absorb nutrients from water and dirt and the sun. Oh yeah, I know, like, especially like my mom, sometimes she'll like eat like a lot of like food, and then like if it's like super greasy, then it'll just like absolutely mess with her for the rest of the day. So yeah, like sometimes foods that have like a lot of like, you know, oils and things like that, they don't tend to agree with us sometimes. I don't think we're meant to have that much oil in our bodies. Excuse me. Yeah. That's how I feel too. My stomach takes time to boot up, so lunch is usually my first meal. Yeah, like I remember like when I was in like university still, like I had like morning classes at like, you know, 8 o'clock and stuff. So I would I'd usually, you know, just like roll out of bed 15 minutes before my classes start and then just go over to my class in PJs and all, brush out my hair, you know, that sort of thing. And then once my class ended, it'd be around 10 a.m., 10:30. So then I'd go straight to like the food place that was closest to my my class, and then I just, you know, have like a really big lunch. So I miss like first, second year food, because like I was at like this one university that was like really well known for its like culinary program, and the food that they had there, oh, spectacular. It was so good. Like, there's this one like food hall that was like right next to my residence, and it had basically like it had like, you know, like a Korean barbecue stir fry something or other. It had like pizza, like hand tossed, like handmade pizza, fire cooked right in front of you. It had like a burger fry joint place, but it had like they had like the best pulled pork sandwiches and garlic aioli dipping sauce. Oh, I got that far too many times. And then they had like a sandwich place, a healthier vegan place, a special of the day sort of stand or whatever. Desserts everywhere. You could get ice cream at any like point in time. Like it was a common thing for me to walk over and get ice cream in like -0 or like below 0 weather, because why not? I don't care that I live in Canada. There's literally snow and ice on the ground. I want ice cream. Give me the freaking ice cream. And there was like sold by weight too, so you could literally just mountain on a bunch of ice cream in one cup if you wanted to. Oh, so great. I miss that so much. But yeah. Like the concept knowledge of some things in some cases and texture in others. Yeah, I totally get that. Because it's like, I don't know, I guess it's also like a mental thing too. Like you see something and then like, even though you know like it's not like 100% supposed to be that way, like you see something that doesn't like, you don't like, and it just kind of like, I guess already like colors the idea of that thing in your mind. Even though, like, you haven't tried it yet, it's just like, oh, I don't think I really want that. So, hello! Happy New Year! Thank you so much for dropping by. We're talking about food likes and dislikes. I really don't know how we got here, but here we are. I still haven't talked about my dreams and goals for the future. But that's okay, we're talking about food dislikes, so it's okay. And I'm also trying to eat noodles. It's a long time in the making. It's been almost 2 hours and I still haven't eaten these noodles. And I'm having too much fun talking to you guys. Yeah, actually, probably like once the stream ends, I'm probably gonna go to bed in about like 6 hours. So I can be prepared for the watch along tonight. Like, y'all aren't gonna get enough of me, or maybe you're gonna get too much of me. But I've got like 2 more streams coming up in the next like 12 hours. I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, but I'm gonna mention it again. I hope y'all are excited for the free cover fest coming up. I'm so excited. They finally released the watch room. Yay! I've linked it finally in the waiting room for the watch along. So I was like, when are they gonna do it? Like, is it actually not gonna be on? Like, I thought for like a moment that like it was actually gonna be like a delayed viewing or something, because like usually they would like put up like a waiting room for this sort of thing like days in advance at least, but they decided, I guess, that this time it would be like oh, we're just gonna put it up for the last minute, just at the last minute before the show starts, but 12 hours before the show starts. Interesting choice, but you know what, it's 2022, they can do whatever the heck they want, so yeah, first concert of 2022. It's gonna be at 1 a.m. for me. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so tired tomorrow. Like after the first live from Argama Witch, I think I'm just gonna crash and just like not be alive. Well, once the adrenaline kind of runs out, like for sure the adrenaline's gonna like get to me. I'll just be like so hyped, incredibly hyped. So I'm very excited for that. And I'm also excited for like any more like new announcements they have. Like, oh my gosh, I hope they. I honestly have no idea what else they could like announce at this point. Like, they've already announced so much. Like, what else could they do? And that's what excites me. The possibilities are limitless. Who knows what they could accomplish? So. I also hope that 2022 is the year that the Argama Witch channel hits 100k subscribers. We've been teetering on 80k for so long. Give them their 100k, man. They deserve it. Oh, man. I also hope they do more sound-only lives too. That'd be fun. Like, you know, just have like, you know, like a monthly like sound-only live sort of thing. To have like a nice mix of like music and stuff, maybe a little story in there, and I just want to send more super chats. That's like, yeah, I miss sending super chats to Argo. Actually, I think one of the first super chats, if not the first super chat I ever sent, was to the Argama Witch channel. Anything is possible when you're Barbie. Heck yeah! Be who you wanna be, Barbie girl. Oh my gosh. Wow, that took me to a place I have not been to in a very long time. Wow, when was the last time I played with a Barbie doll? My gosh. How long ago was that? It was a while ago, but like, how long ago? Jeez. Man. Man, Barbies used to be my life. Oh my god, I love playing with my Barbie dolls. But yeah, speaking of, on the topic sort of dreams and hopes for 2022, for myself, I said I was going to talk about this, but to be honest, I don't really have anything like concrete written down in mind, to be perfectly clear. But I do, I do hope that this year I continue to, you know, improve myself, improve my speaking skills, improve my commentary, improve my setup. Kind of, I guess maybe take it more easy on myself. I don't know, like I feel like every time I start streaming I'm always so tense and worried about like, oh no, what if I'm not funny, what if I don't say the right things, blah blah blah. So I think maybe I'm gonna try and be like, you know, a bit more relaxed, kind of sort of like this, just kind of like, okay, if there's a lull in the stream or whatever, if I'm like, you know, not talking or whatever, that's fine. I'll just, you know, come back to it when I'm able to. I'll start talking again, bring things back up, you know, that sort of thing. Because I find that like I always get super like tense when there's like a silent pause that I'm not talking, and I'm just like, oh no, everyone's getting bored, everyone's leaving, oh no, everyone's getting really bored. But sometimes it's just, you know, it's just a time where like, you know, I just don't have anything to say at the moment, and that's fine. I just gotta, you know, just accept that that's gonna happen, and then just, you know, bring myself back on when I'm able to. So. Yeah. And you know, maybe live 2D is in my future, maybe, I don't know. I literally have no plans apart from just thinking about it, just apart from me just like dreaming about having a live 2D model. Nothing has been in the works or planned or anything at all, but that would be really cool if I could get a model made this year. I would love that, absolutely love that. And like, I got a new phone recently, so I've got like my old phone, which is like, what is it? It's like an iPhone X. I've just got it sitting in my drawer right now, and I could basically just use that for like live 2D capture, so I wouldn't have to like buy like a whole separate phone or anything like that, or like a webcam. I could just use what I have, and that'd be great. So yeah. Okay, this noodle stream's making me hungry. Get foods! Make sure after the stream ends you get some foods and snacks if you are needing them, so that is officially prescribed by Stories of Stars. And some water too. Hydrate. And what else? What else do I want to accomplish this year? I think most of it's just, you know, like, mainly like self-improvement and stuff, you know. Not just like, you know, like the streaming stuff, but also like being kinder to myself, you know. Having more confidence. Believing I can do things, even when I think I can't. Fake it till I make it. That sort of thing. So, trying to have a better mindset for this year. Even though everything's, you know, kind of sucky still. It's like, even if the world sucks, I've still gotta live in my own head, so I might as well make myself happy in my own head, if anything. So. Okay, maybe not get snacks at 2 a.m. Maybe wait until later. The last thing I want is for you to be like rummaging for snacks and have like someone like come downstairs and be like, what are you doing? Like, a VTuber told me to get snacks. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please get food when it is most appropriate to. Unless you live alone. In that case, go nuts. Do whatever you want to do. Then again, I made ramen around midnight last night, so, because like I had like, you know, like we had like a bunch of like hors d'oeuvres and stuff for dinner, but I was still hungry, so I went and I made some more ramen. So it was really good though. Really tasty. By the time I finished my bowl, it was midnight. I'm like, oh, look at that! Happy New Year! Yay! It was slightly anticlimactic, but then again, I wasn't really gonna do anything else. So. Yay, celebrated New Year's with a bowl of ramen. By myself in a dimly lit kitchen. Ooh, excuse me. Else I would like to accomplish. Like, oh, I wanna do some collabs this year. Cause like, I've been kind of like, for the past few months, I've just been kind of, you know, like streaming on my own, just kind of like, you know, getting my footing and you know, figuring things out and stuff. But like, it'd be cool to like, you know, reach out to some people. Like, I've got like one of my friends, Rui, we're trying to plan something maybe in the future, so that'd be really fun to do some more collabs and just hang out with people and, you know, try and do that sort of thing. I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. Maybe. Will stories be able to socially interact with other people? Find out this year. Imagine just going to the bathroom and then you just find someone eating all your snacks at 3 a.m. Like you're just like, you know, half asleep, you're walking, just like the bathroom, all of a sudden you just see like this gremlin figure just hunched over, just eating all of your snacks, and they just look at you over their shoulder and they're just like, you just make like this eye contact, just like, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom, and then I'm gonna go right back, and I'm gonna pretend nothing happened. And if they ever say anything, I will say I saw nothing. And I hope they go along with it, so. That, or they just look over and they're like, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. Trying to think. Is there anything else I want to do this year? Is there anything else? I guess, just, improving myself. I said that already. But, working on my own skill sets. Becoming a more entertaining person. And, maybe with a little bit of luck, my dreams can come true. So, yay! Oh, geez, I'm going for 2 hours. No wonder my noodles are freezing cold. All right, I think I'm gonna end the stream now, and I'm gonna warm up my noodles and finish them downstairs. So, thank you everybody so much for stopping by to listen to me talk and talking with me as well. I appreciate it. It's been fun. And I hope we can do this again soon. I'm actually working on my schedule for next week, though I got bombarded with all the shifts because we're short staffed right now, so I get to be in to work all the time this week. Yay! So there's probably gonna be fewer streams than usual this upcoming next 2 weeks or so, just because of me being busy with work and everything. But yeah, I will be posting that at some point in the future, so yeah, look out for that. So but you'll see me in a few hours, in like about 11ish hours or so. You'll see me very soon. So I'll just be here for like the next while, and then you won't miss me for this upcoming week. So that was the plan all along. All according to Keikaku. So so yeah, thank you everybody so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys later tonight and early tomorrow morning for lots of Argonavas watch along concerts and dying. Yay! Not actual dying, but you know what I mean. So yeah, until we meet again, which will be later today. Bye!